I think my body's going into shock. Like, this is hot and my hands are cold. Like, all the blood's just going, emergency.
Hey guys, welcome to Question Wings and Things, episode 7, season 3 in Melbourne. Today we've got Ben Chan. He's the Chief Product and Data Officer at Sportsbet. Excited for this one. We'll crack on in, give it a shake. Probably put this on the smallest one. You said to me that you can take your spice.
See how well I lied.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. We'll get that down, yeah? And
Beautiful.
we'll jump into the first question. Question 1. You've had a really impressive career today. You started obviously uni Mel, did an MBA at Stanford University, went on to be a BA, FX trader at Goldman Sachs. Talk me through the journey, the transition on your career today.
Look, it's just been a really wild ride and have loved every part of the journey. Started off at Melbourne Uni, studied engineering and commerce, civil engineering, actuarial mathematics. Really love numbers. A lot of people were like, what's that combination? Civil engineering, actuarial mathematics. My response was always, I'll build a person a bridge and then sell them insurance on it. At a really high premium because it was badly built. Kicked off, started at McKinsey as a BA, and was fortunate enough to travel many parts of the world, Taiwan, UK, different parts of Europe, Asia. Got lucky and got into Stanford to do my MBA. 2 of the most fun years of my life. It's kind of like undergrad with cash. And towards the end of my days at Stanford, really wanted to go to the trading floor. So I talked with Goldman Sachs in New York, got a position there as an FX trader on Wall Street and traded foreign exchange through the financial crisis. Decided, my wife and I wanted to come back to Australia, have a family, got on the plane back here, rejoined McKinsey, got promoted to a senior manager. At that time, I thought that was the opportune time to come out into industry, into an actual company. Had a broad range of options from kind of larger, big ASX 20 type companies, all the way down to smaller tech startups. And Envato was just this great intersection of technology with a commercial role and in a fast growing environment. And so I jumped on that and spent 6 great years at Envato. Really enjoyed that time, where when I joined it was under 100 people, and when I left it was 600 people, so we'd grown. Towards my time there, started talking with a few different companies, and Sportsbet was one of them. Really loved the intersection of sports and numbers. I'm sports nuts. Numbers, and here I am.
You happy to be back in Oz?
Yeah, Australia's great.
Yeah.
It's just, everything works, it's safe. Probably the big downside is travel. You spend 6 hours on a plane, you still haven't left Australia. You're still in Broome. So.
How did you find the first one?
No, it's hot.
It's hot, yeah. That got me a bit at the start. I could hardly breathe.
I don't know why that's first. That's really hot.
But yeah, we'll move on to the second one.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit. Although I don't think the French would eat this very often. Not a bad one, that. Maybe it's just there. We're used to it now.
Ask me again in like 30 seconds when I'm having trouble answering your question.
Exactly, yeah. I suppose, where did the obsession with numbers, data, math start, and how do you apply that to your everyday life and business as well?
If you want to go down the stereotype, I'm Asian, so I was born like that. But look, just really started. I just was terrible at English, terrible at anything else except science and maths during primary school and high school. I couldn't write an essay to save my life. And till this day, I still have never read a book in my life. This is not my thing. One place that's really helped is understanding the value drivers of what drives a business, especially in the tech business where you've got so much access to numbers, instant results. You can put an experiment out and you can see it pretty much straight away. And then the trick is finding the insights. What's the nuggets? What's the thing that's going to drive great customer adoption? Every morning, I'll come in and look at my dashboards, regardless of what job I've got, see what's happening, get a sense of where the trends are, and that kicks off my day.
You were saying to me as well that you love your whiskey as well, and you've got a massive spreadsheet of, what was it, 450 whiskies as well?
Yeah, I love my whiskey. Started on this journey 3 years ago, and a buddy from Stanford came and visited me, took him down to Chapel Street and said, all right, first round of beers on me, what do you want to drink? And he said, no, we only drink whiskey. I was like, whiskey? No one drinks whiskey. And then he goes, all right, whatever. I ordered 3 of the same whiskey, and I said, and I had a drink. I said, this isn't whiskey, is it? This is really good.
Yeah.
But Ben, you've just been drinking shit all your life, right? Like just Johnny Walker Red Label, Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
And then after that, the next day I bought a bottle of the Balvenie 12-year-old, and since then I've just...
That's one of my favourite. Balvenie, I think 16 Caribbean cask is unbelievable as well.
Yeah, it's a good one. Basically, I want to try as many whiskies as I can. So I started a Google sheet, and every time I have a whiskey, I fill it out.
Yeah.
And I just rate it from 0 to 10.
Yeah.
Basically, anything above 8, I'll be happy to buy.
Yeah, amazing. What's your favourite?
I love smoke.
Yeah.
So smoky whiskies from Isla. My number 1 is the Octomore.
Okay.
So any Octomore,
Yeah.
I'll have.
Amazing. I haven't tried that one yet.
It's super smoky,
Yeah.
it's, fire breathing type of stuff. Not to this level, but yeah.
How do you find that one?
It's hot. I don't know if it's the first one or second one or the combo.
Well, we'll move on to
I'm starting to spit all over the place.
number 3.
What's this one called?
This is called Sudden Death. What would you say in business, I suppose, is the most important thing to build a successful business? And what's been the biggest mistake you've seen?
I'm going to wipe my sweat. So it's
Yes.
basically having a shower now.
Yeah.
And we're not even halfway.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we just are halfway now. What was the question? So what's the most important thing?
Yeah.
Being from a numbers background, my biggest mistake very early on was thinking numbers was everything. And it's just everything in my education just said, always come up with the right answer. And very early on, I was like, no. The most important thing in business for me is people.
Yeah.
Right? That's the number 1 asset. Getting people aligned on the right mission. It's all for naught.
Yeah.
Culture will eat, strategy every day of the week.
Yeah.
And so that I think that's the most important thing.
Yep.
I think very, paired with that is customers. Making sure we understand our customers. What do they need? How can we provide value to them over and above what they expect?
How would you find that one?
Hot. Oh, it's all hot.
You're getting some tears in yeah. I don't think I've enjoyed tears as much as this one.
And the mucus is really developing inside, so I'm having trouble speaking now.
Yeah. So the 4th one.
Bloody hell.
This is going to be a tougher one. Oh, God.
Woo! I can't feel anything.
Can't feel your soul. Right, I've seen that you're into your martial arts. You were a badminton captain at university. Obviously, you love your soccer. What kind of crossover do you see from your sporting days that you bring into business?
I think it's a huge crossover. I think, as I mentioned, people's everything.
Yeah.
One thing I love about sport is, especially team sport, football, though one would argue from this morning's performance in the Champions League, Real Madrid doesn't have that great teamwork anymore.
Yeah.
Teamwork is everything, and being aligned on the vision, aligned on the strategy of the tactic. Some of the best inspirational speakers I've heard is from the sporting world. How do you get a team aligned? How do you build that culture? How do you make sure you lay everything on the line for the team's success? A leader's job, whether it's on the field or off the field, a leader's job in the workspace is to really get everyone aligned to the vision. How are we going to achieve this from a season-long perspective, but also intra-game? Having a leader doesn't mean that leader's the best player, but the leader that can motivate and move the team in the right direction.
Yeah. How did you find that one?
Not that bad, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just already dead, and like.
I think that's a possibility. So, question number 5 is the crescendo. Bottoms up. Good to have you.
Ultra death.
Good to have you on, Ben. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for killing my stomach. For some reason, I got blown over after 3.
After 3, yeah.
And now I'm just in a world of pain. And
once you get through, it just kind of all blends into one. It's actually not too bad. Right, question number 5. What's the luckiest thing that's happened to you in your career, would you say?
Lucky / good learning.
Yeah.
One of my first weeks on the trading floor in New York, I was executing an option. You know, when you execute an option, you often hedge the underlying, so then you've got the only exposure to the volatility. And so I'd executed the option, and on the underlying, I was supposed to sell. So I was supposed to sell, 50 million Australian dollars. But instead, I bought. And this is in the depth of the financial crisis. The markets are moving super fast. I was like, right, bought the call option. Oh, what? Shit. I think I was supposed to sell, and I've done my calcs. I'm like, I was supposed to sell. And so after like confirming, backed out the trade. So, I bought 50 mil Australian dollars. I needed to sell 50 mil to get out of that position, and then sell another 50 mil to go the right way, go the correct way. And it must have been 30 seconds of total elapsed time from kind of first error to coming all the way out. And in that 30 seconds, the market had moved a lot. Yeah. And at this time, I'm sweating like I am now. And did my calcs. And luckily, the market moved in my favor, right? And we made a couple of $100,000 from a mistake. But it was an error that I never made again. Yeah. In the remaining years I was there. It taught me many things. First is don't fuck it up. But secondly, it helped me manage my stress going forward. After that point, unless I was, and it applies to kind of any job I've had since then, unless I'm losing millions by the second, I'm actually not that stressed. Because of that moment, right? Yeah. And it helps me bring perspective to my everyday work. I told this to my buddy, who's a former Marine. He said, Ben, let me give you even more perspective. Unless you're losing liters of blood by the second, it's not stressful. Yeah. And that just helps me bring lots of perspective into my everyday life. And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, it's not.
We'll get through this. Yeah, exactly. We'll get through this.
How did you find that last one?
That was good. I still think the first one was hottest because, like you said, it just hits you. And the third one.
Well, you have a little bonus question as well. So, on the same day, you've got to give either a TED Talk, the Real Madrid Champions League finals on, or you've got an interview as CEO for your dream job. Which one are you picking and you can't move them?
I think I could kill two birds with one stone because my dream job is to be the CEO or president of Real Madrid. And that interview would happen at the Champions League final with Real Madrid.
That's a fucking good answer. Thanks for coming on, man. Pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to have you on, man.